Hey guys, welcome back to Dose of Joy. As the title suggests, today I'm going to be sharing a very simple and straightforward way to grow your money now. This video is for anyone and everyone who wants to be more financially capable. So whether you're a beginner who doesn't really know much about finances, because school never taught us, or you're someone who does know more about it, but you don't know this money growth method that I'm going to share, then this video is for you. And I really can't stress it enough, but being money smart is so important. By taking care of your finances now, you're going to make better informed decisions in the future, as well as end up with a lot more money long term, as well as avoiding that regret that you might feel when you're older. So I'm going to make this video as straightforward as I can and save you the pain of reading through the most boring books with their absolutely ridiculous amount of pages. And if you have any other finance topics you want me to cover, such as investing or taxes or anything like that, please comment below so I know and I can discuss those too. And just a side note, the things that I talk about in this video with all the terms are generally Australian terms, but I'm sure that the ideas behind this video can be applied across different countries. Okay, let's begin. So, what is that simple way of growing our money, you say? It is superannuation. Okay, this might be the point where you go, I remember that. So to give you guys a brief overview, superannuation, or 401k for Americans, is essentially a fund that our employers have to pay on top of our salary. This is a legal requirement, so I highly recommend you guys check your pay slips to make sure that your employers have been paying it. But just remember that if you're making less than $450 per month, then your employers don't have to pay your super. So if you realise that your employer hasn't been paying you super, then you can bring that up with Fair Work Australia and dispute that. And importantly, we can't access our super until we're around about 60 to 65 years old, depending on when we retire. Okay, so you guys might be wondering, what the heck does superannuation have anything to do with growing your money? Well, there's two huge factors we need to know about our super. First of all, each super company has their own list of fees. If you're with a company that has higher fees, you're going to be losing out really badly long term. And secondly, these companies actually use the money that our employers give them to invest in, with different investment plans determining how much money we grow. So let's first look into the first factor, which are company fees. With each, there are many things to consider, such as the annual management or admin fees, so they're the fees that we pay for keeping our account running, and investment fees, the fees that we pay for our money to be invested. You could imagine that if you're with a company that charges $100 per year for admin fees, and there's another company that charges $50 for admin fees, you're spending $50 more than you need to per year. And sure, that might not seem like a big difference now, but when that's compounded over time, that's going to be well into the thousands. And if both companies are achieving the same things, why should you be paying more? To emphasize how much of a financial noob I was, I got my first job at 16 and I let my employer choose my superannuation company for me, and that turned out to be AMP. And I never looked at my super documents, the annual reports, ever. I didn't even know my login details, so I actually couldn't look at my documents. But when I finally did look at them, I realized that my annual returns went into the negatives. Plus, I found out that each year I was paying for a financial advisor I had no idea about. So after comparing AMP with other super companies, I realized that I'd be losing a lot if I stayed with them. So what's the best way to research into these super companies? First, Google whatever super company plus PDS. I've just chosen Unisuper as an example. PDS is short for Public Disclosure Statements, which includes all you need to know about fees and how they invest your money. For now, let's just focus on admin fees, and to help with that, we'll compare Unisuper to AMP. you can see that Unisuper charges either $96 or 2% of your account balance, whichever is less, whereas AMP charges $7.57 per month plus 0.29% of your account balance. So say if your balance was $7,000, you'd either be charged $96 or $90.84 plus $20, which is $110. And sure, that's only around $14 difference. But again, if we compound that over time, you're going to be losing out a lot. Okay, so the second factor we need to know about super. I mentioned before that super companies invest our money, and they can invest it into things like shares or property, which allows the money that we have in our accounts to grow. And by following the first step, which was to choose companies based on fees and costs, you'll now have more money to invest in and therefore grow. So for example, to see Unisuper's investment options, I've gone onto their PDS, and under the chapter How We Invest Our Money, they have a list of 7 different options that you can choose from. So this will be the same for any superannuation company that you'll see. It's usually under How We Invest Your Money. You can also see that Unisuper has a default investment option. So they say that if you don't select an investment option specifically, then they will automatically invest you in Unisuper's default, which is balanced MySuper option. And what I found actually is that usually these default options have the highest fees. So thank you, dodgy superannuation companies. So yeah, there are 7 different options, and they range from conservative to sustainable high growth. I really would recommend people, so around about 20, 25, to really invest in either growth, high growth, or sustainable high growth, because although they are riskier, so the more growth you get, the more riskier the investment is. But because we have a lot of time before we retire, we're able to at least risk that and have overall higher return rates. But once you do get older, I would definitely recommend a roundabout conservative balanced or sustainable balanced, just so that it's a safer option, but you're still growing more than you would with conservative. So we can usually see how much our money will grow by looking at the investment performances and investment returns of that particular company and fund. The higher the percentage return, the more money we're going to be making per year. So to give an example, this was my investment plan with AMP that was 100% defensive and 0% growth, meaning that my money was basically just sitting there as a conservative investor rather than growing. And you can see here that even after 10 years, I'd only make 1.71% return per year, which is very, very low compared to other funds. So to compare investment options within that same company, first go into Google and type in that superannuation company plus product performance. So now you're under the tab product performance for whatever fund you're looking at, and you will look at the investment performance. So now once you get to this PDF, you can see that there is a list of all the different investment options that the particular company has, and each of them has 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, and since inception. These are basically just saying how well the investment option has performed over the respective years. So with AMP, I was with Hostplus, and you can see that even over the course of 10 years, I'd just be making 1.41% return per year. And that is really, really poor compared to even conservative. So AMP conservative has a return of 4.88% per year over 10 years. So definitely look into the performances of the investment options that you're interested in and select the percentage return that works the best for you. Okay, I know that's a lot of things to remember and it can be very overwhelming at first. I essentially condensed what I researched over days into this one video. So definitely go over what I've said, rewatch the video if you need to, and definitely if you have any questions, please do comment below so that I can answer them as best as I can. And you might be thinking, this is so not simple, Joe. Why did you call it simple? Sure, we do all of the difficult things first. We research the fees between different companies. We research the investment funds that suit our preferences. But after all of that stuff is done, we can literally sit back and watch our money grow and not think about it. Companies that I really highly recommend you look into include Unisuper, Sunsuper, Hostplus, and there's one more, Super. So I've generally found that these options have lower fees and also overall better investment returns. I'm currently with Hostplus because that suits my financial situation the best, but definitely research into the options and see which one suits you. So to summarize, managing your super now will save you so much hassle down the track and might even determine whether you have, say, $50,000 more when you retire. My other main message is to start now. Don't delay it and just rip that band-aid off, because every second you wait, the more money you're going to be missing out on. I really hope you guys found this video helpful. Please do let me know if it was or if it wasn't and what I can work on, and definitely suggest other videos you want me to cover and see in the future. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video.
Yep.